Y'all are also doing, help people, even experienced buyers, even maybe investors, or whether they want to buy and hold or they want to flip. You have some people that you've been helping with that too as well.
Yes, we do that because part of what we do is what we want to do is also want to help people build wealth through real estate. You know, and that's actually if you think about a lot of these people who do very well in life and business, a lot of them have real estate holdings. Actually, a good example is McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's does not make their millions by the burgers they sell. They make their millions from the real estate holdings because every McDonald's is that the land, McDonald's, the corporation owns the land, the franchise owner owns the building and rents and leases the land for 20, 30 years. And so really when you look at the McDonald's story, how do they make their billions of dollars? It's not through the burgers, it's through the real estate acquisitions that they have.
That's awesome.
How do you avoid, okay, so you always hear on the radio and TV about these seminars, and I always thought maybe they were just kind of rip-offs, or you know what I'm talking about, without saying names to anybody, but without saying names. But I mean, so how do you? They sound so good. No money down. Use other people's money to buy. I mean,
well, there are programs out there. So what happens is you have different types of lenders. Your traditional homeowner is going to get a regular FHA or conventional loan. You have some investors that they're going to do conventional loans. You're putting the 20% down because it's going to be an investment property, and that's typically your buy and hold buyers. They're buying a property they're going to keep as a rental. Then you have your flippers. Okay. Your flippers are actually able to do what's called a hard money loan, and hard money loans can go one of two ways. It can be a hard money loan where they have a bank backing them, or it can be a hard money loan where they have private money investors. Okay. Basically, somebody says, I have this much money, I'm not doing anything with it, lend it out for me.
Okay.
And when they do that, on the hard money side of it, whether it's through the bank or through the private money lenders, they're able to lend them money to purchase the property and money for the renovation cost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so you're able to get into these properties and sometimes having little to no money out of pocket to get into them, and they're lending you the money to purchase, they're lending you the money to renovate it. You go out there, you partner with a realtor like myself and my team, and we find off-market properties. We even find some that are on the MLS. And the biggest thing is making sure, what is the after repair value? What could the home sell for when it's all said and done? You can buy it for this much, it's going to take X amount of dollars to fix it, and then ultimately it can sell for this price, and make sure the margins fit. And I always tell people whenever we're working with investors, whether I'm buying an investment property myself or one of my investor clients is, the numbers have to work.
Yeah.
There's one thing that doesn't lie, and that's math, and that's numbers.
Exactly.
so what if you're only getting a little bit of money? Like if you buy something, you're renting it out to somebody, you're not really getting that much per month, let's say a few $100s, but it pays for, after you pay the taxes, the insurance, and estimated repairs, but you're still getting a piece of property. So is that...
Well, because when on buy and holds, what your big bang for your buck is holding the property. That's where you're making your money, is through the long term, holding the property, building that equity. And guess what? You may only be making $300 to $400 off of it a month right now, but as that tenant pays down that note for you, your spread is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I actually went to an investment seminar hosted by NAREP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And in that event, with one of the main investors there, he said, if you want to be a millionaire, get to own 20 doors as quickly as possible. Like basically have 20 rental properties as quickly as possible, because if you think about it, that 300 times 20 over the course of 10 years, most people like y'all, like you guys that are self-employed, myself that is self-employed, we don't have the 401ks and the other stuff that that your traditional employers have. So we always have to think is, what's our retirement plan?
Yeah.
And real estate is a really great vehicle for a very solid retirement plan.
Yeah, definitely something to think about and consider, especially if there's the opportunity of getting it with zero money down or very little to begin with, and then you can become a real estate owner.
I would say the biggest thing with that is always the contractors. Is having the people that are going to be able to get the job done,
exactly.
the job done for you.
Exactly.
So aside from lining up your financing for investment properties, you also want to pre-line up who's going to do the work. Because the last thing you want to get these houses out, especially if it's going to be a flip. If If it's going to be, you want to get it in and out because the longer you hold the property, you're paying monthly for those properties. You know, so you still want to make sure that you have that those people lined up to help you get the job done.
Right.
True.
I know a lot of people that flip. They actually are probably contractors too, right? Are they pretty good at repairs, or there's some people who don't do that at all?
There's some people that they hire out all that stuff. Now, there's different types of there's different types of people who will do renovations. There's the investor that they're going to hire the whole job out. They're going to have their general contractor, and I only want to talk to you, and you handle everybody else. Yeah. Then there's ones like myself. I actually am a general contractor. I got a little ID that says it and everything.
Wow.
And I got it laminated.
Official.
It's official. It's official. It's in print, so it must be real, right?
Yeah.
And like myself, I prefer to deal directly with the contractors one-on-one, so I can bid out this portion of it, the roof portion, the plumbing portion, the electrical portion, the general portion of it, pay my materials on the side versus having somebody else is going to price everything out.
Yeah, and find them a middleman, basically.
So really, there's just so many different ways, and it really depends on that. I always tell people it has a lot to do with their personality style.
That's true.
That's for sure, and the same thing with how much you are okay with risk. Are you a risk adverse, or how do you want to deal with that? I will say that I think that real estate is a great way to really making sure you're okay in retirement.
Yeah,
and
for
start early because it kind of snowballs.
Yeah.
Once you get one and it starts getting paid off, you get another one, and it's good, and it's just a snowball effect on it.
Yeah.
And there's actually a really solid way to be able to buy these properties. Like say you do. Because in order to finance an investment property, there are still closing costs involved.
Right.
So one of the great things to do if you're looking to get into rental, and you're like, well, hey, I want to get a rental property, but I don't necessarily know if I want to carry a note for the next 20 years, like right off the bat. I'd like to get some pocket money first before I have this note secured over here. You can actually we'll do like that. They do flip, buy. So basically you flip a house, you get the money from the proceeds from that, and you buy a house cash. Okay. And the house that you buy cash, you renovate it, get everything out, get it all looking nice, and then you do a cash out against that property. Mm-hmm. Once you do the cash out against that property, now it's on that nice low interest rate because now you're only borrowing what you need, but yet it has all this equity, equity in it still. And so you're able to you take that money and you put it into another property, and you do flip, buy, and you get another one to hold. And so you kind of stack them to build up your portfolio.
That sounds like the formula to success and to like a very nice retirement. I think I'm gonna be taking notes.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
sure.
be calling her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready.
Is there anything special that needs to be done? For example, can somebody who's a resident and not a citizen own property?
Well, right now there's only there's a very limited amount of banks that will do non-residents financing for non-residents. The DACA people can get them done, so it is a little bit harder, but there are still more programs available for that. If they have the ITIN number, there's about 2 banks nationwide that will do them, but they're looking at putting like 30-40% down. It's a pretty large chunk, but that's okay. My people, they got money. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they don't say it.
Right. They have it,
but they got it. They might not even look like they got it, but they got it.
I think that the reason why is because the people normally they come here and they work and they save as much as they can because they never know when is their last day to be here. When are they going to be deported? I mean, it's nothing. Nothing is for sure. So, these people basically come here with the idea of I'm gonna go, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna save money. I'm going to have, something for myself one day. And the American dream is to own your own house. And a lot of them have been able to do that. And once they have it, it's like a prized possession. They keep it forever. They take care of it. They're like some of the best neighbors that you'll have.
Yeah, absolutely true.
And that's actually one of the things about the Hispanic consumer, because I was actually the 2018 president of NAREP, which is again the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and what we strive for in that organization is sustainable home ownership for the Hispanic community. And really, while right now in today's day and age, Hispanics are the majority when it comes to home ownership, they are still the minority. Only 13% of Hispanics own homes in the United States, which is crazy.
Why is that?
Well, because one, they don't. A lot of people don't trust the banking systems. A lot of Spanish don't trust the banking systems, and so when it does come time for them to purchase a house, they don't have their money in the bank where it needs to be. So it's got to get in the bank. It's got to get seasoned.
Yeah.
And then it's just in general they don't know. They think it's a lot more difficult. They're just uneducated about the process.
I think that's all it is.
They think it's a lot more difficult than what it is. And what we have also found is that 13% that does own home in the Hispanic community, you have a lot more multi-generational households where you have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, kids living in the property.
Yeah.
And they are Hispanics pull together their money. So say your mom, I'm grandma, and your son. We live together until I get my house on my. This is my house as grandma.
Yeah.
Y'all stay with me, and then as soon as you're able to get your house, we help you save money. You get into your house.
Yes.
He stays there. We help him save money so he gets into his house. And so a lot of times you have that multi-generational household helping each other get into the houses.
True.
And most Hispanics, like you said earlier, will hold on to their properties for 20, 30 years, more than any other demographic.
Yeah.
They stay in their houses for a lot longer because they, in their minds, how you build wealth is through real estate, is holding on to that real estate property. And like you said, once they got that, they attained that American dream, they're holding on for dear life.
Yeah, they're not moving around, or it's very hard. It's like my parents. They bought their house back in 95, and they've been there ever since. They haven't moved.
And a lot of their neighbors actually have been there.
I mean, yes, exactly.
Or it's not now. It's not just your parents, but sisters and cousins.
Yeah,
and
everybody's basically moving into the subdivision instead of them moving out. It's like everybody comes, near them because that's like, that's
the hub.
That's the hub, and everybody comes.
Which is great when your kids are around the neighborhood, because if my kids do anything bad, everybody knows about it.
Everybody, and they watch out for each other's kids, and it's just wonderful. It's like a little community, but but it's true. They do like to help each other, especially if you have family living with you, and the whole purpose is, for them to save money, so then they can move on and go on their own, get their own property.
Yeah, I know. I had a set of clients. I still have. Let me say, I have a set of clients every few years as their children get older and a house becomes available on that street. I think their goal in life is to own that block.
The whole block.
Because like the dad bought a house on there maybe like 15 years ago. Then 5 years later, one of the sons buys the house next door. Then 5 years after that, they buy a house on this other side. And actually right now we're helping that family's son. And he's like, how close can I get to my dad's house? Like if anything comes up on his street, that's good, or even one street over.
Yes.
They stay tight knit.
Yeah. That is so true.
That, and I like living near my mom. Low child care costs,
and good food.
Good food.
There's always dinner at the table. I mean, we've experienced that. I mean, we've been together almost 15 years, and we probably have moved on an average every 2 years. I'm not lying. It's been exhausting.
She says no more.
I'm done.
Said no mas.
Yeah, but the best time was when we moved to the house across the street from my parents, which is one of the properties that we own, and it was vacant. We were in between houses, sell this house, buy a new house. So we're in between houses, and we moved there temporarily. We were there for 3 years, 3.5 years.
And that was
Why?
great.
Because mom was across the street.
Yes.
Because we just love seeing them out there, seeing my dad out on the front, patio, just looking at us and watching over us, and it just felt so good.
Eating dinner with them.
We were eating dinner with them. We were spending a lot of time.
What a
with
great
them.
opportunity to get close to your family.
Yes, but then you get busy, and it was kind of upsetting at times because a whole week might go by and we never got a chance to go say hello because we were just so busy with the kids,
Yeah.
And now that when we live the farthest from them, it was just like, let's try to get there as much as we can. Let's go see them.
We spent a lot of weekends with them, or they came out to see us a lot when we lived out near Galveston.
Yeah.
So it's true that the distance makes the heart grow fonder?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You don't know what you have until you move far away. You want to be close again.
How do people get a hold of you?
Well, they can call my cell phone.
Yeah, give her a call.
Which is 832-830-2055. Or my email, thequeen@realtorruby.com, but y'all didn't see that coming. or my website, mytexascastle.com.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's really
All,
good.
all royal, all queenly.
We need to take a little short trip, road trip here in Texas. There's
We
a
love road
castle. You know, there's a
Yes,
castle.
I
And we need to
see
go do a
it.
photo shoot there.
Yes, it's like that's like a
I think you can
hashtag
rent,
goals.
Yeah, they have like a little
Yes.
castle you can rent or something, like
Yeah,
a B&B
uh-huh.
or something. I don't know.
Well, they have actually.
It has a drawbridge and everything,
They
like
do.
a moat.
Yeah, they have everything. It's really cute, and I've seen photo shoots of like quinceañeras that go there and take pictures. I was like, that is so.
You know
cute.
what? By the end of 20, I've seen that before. I've
Yeah.
tagged it before. I've had pictures
Yeah.
of it. This year I'm gonna do it. By the end of 2020, I'm gonna do a photo
Yeah.
shoot out
Oh,
there.
that's a great
photographer.
idea.
Yes, I
For
love
sure.
it. You gotta have the castle.
And I
behind
think
you.
I will have to bring the big crown out for
Yeah,
that day.
for
The big
sure,
blingy
for
full size
sure,
crown.
yes. For sure.
So I can see it. So I can see it under my queenly
Perfect.
wave.
Yeah.
You need a
Yes.
carriage, a horse and carriage.
Okay, now you're thinking.
Yeah.
Now I like this guy. He thinks big.
Yes,
he thinks
does,
big. I like that.
He does. Yeah, get his wheels running, and yeah.
And that's why 2020 is the year that we're gonna become friends.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
like very, very good friends.
That is so true.
I have claimed them as my own.
Yes.
Is there anything else, Ruby, you want to cover?
No, well, I just want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come
It's
talk
been
to
so
you.
much
And
fun.
I see you on
Ruby's so
Facebook.
awesome.
I see you on
She is the
Facebook.
best.
I'm all like, now I get to be on his show also. I'm like, how
Yes.
cool am I?
Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
glad you wanted to come over here and talk with us, and
love it.
it was very informative too.
Yes,
I
and
learned a lot.
especially telling us about this place. And like I said, we had tried the chicken, but tacos were the bomb.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't let the name fool you. The Rey del Pollo, because they got all sorts of.
Carne asada is so good.
It
as
is
well.
really good, and it's a mom and pop, even though they have like 4 locations. But we met them; they're really,
Yeah.
really nice people, and I
Very,
believe in
very good.
supporting each other.
Yeah.
All right, Ruby, it's time for the lightning round.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so these are pretty easy, really. So, what is your bucket list vacation that you really want to go on?
Italy.
Ooh, me too.
Italy. I want to do Italy, or even like a European tour where
Yes.
you go visit a couple of those places. But I want to like travel like overseas, not like overseas for the cruise boats.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've been overseas is like I take a cruise there, which doesn't
Yeah.
really counts as overseas. So I want to go to a European
Oh, that'd
country,
be
That'd be
good.
awesome.
Italy specifically.
That is awesome.
All right, so I already know your nickname.
Oh yeah, the Queen.
The Queen.
Her Majesty. When we're keeping it a
Her
little more
Majesty,
casual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
A little more
go.
casual.
Majesty.
If
I
you
love
could
it.
pick any kind of superhero power, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. I don't know which kind I would pick. I know which kind I would have though.
All right.
If I did have them, I would have like fire from my hands
Really?
because I radiate this heat. I'm like my husband. Like in the middle of the night, I'm trying to snuggle, and he's all like, "Get away! Get away from me!" He's like, "You're so hot." So I always tell people if I had a superpower, I just know it would be like fire from my
Oh,
hands.
that'd be good.
For sure. Not
All
necessarily
right.
the one I would pick, but that's what I would
probably
get.
you will get.
Tell us about something about real estate in your best British accent.
Ooh.
Hey, this is the
This
first
is
time I've
the
ever seen
first time
her.
I've seen her speechless. And the crazy thing is my daughter's been talking in a British accent for 3 weeks now. It's
Oh, really?
the weirdest thing. I don't know. She's a dork. So I would say, you can. I don't even think I can do a British accent, but you could come by this house and we can come show. We could absolutely come show it to you, darling. It would be fabulous. We would love the opportunity to show you this specific property, and you will just love the ginormous size and the royal feeling of the castle that you will get from this Texas castle.
That was awesome. I loved it.
Yes, so this is awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.